And yeah, there we go. I started recording. Okay, so um we had uh we had a couple things that we were going to talk about. One in particular was the James Bond movie. You said
Yeah,
you
well, I kind of finished it. I got tired and went to bed, and I was like, I think he's about to get blown up. I'm done.
See, I couldn't even get
Apparently,
myself to.
one other heart. Well, apparently, some heartbreaking thing happened like right after it, and I was like, yeah, okay, it's fine. I don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Let me see if I could pull up the article. Well, I could probably just put it up in post.
Well, there was like a silly
Yeah.
thing where like the girl is making a big deal, she's trying to chastise him a little bit or gaslight him either way about uh that she's the new 007. And then like kind of towards the end she just goes, I think we should reinstate him as 007. And after they had like come to some conclusion, Daniel Craig's like, I think they made a good choice, something along those lines, like basically said, yes, I you're cool. And then like 5 minutes later, she's like, I think we should give it back to him. Like, dude, you just undid his gesture. What are you doing?
It just seemed kind of silly, the whole thing in general. I had
I don't know. After one of my buddies just posted some he had Chat GPT write the promo for this music festival that happened yesterday, and it was the most weirdest awkward thing. Like, it gave the information, but it was just weird, and it made me think, I bet these writers have been using that for a lot longer than we realize. And that's why everything got really dumb and the same.
yeah, it just seems like kind of reused and recycled. Um, it wasn't just limited to their utensils and drinking containers. It actually bled into scripts. Just reuse, recycle, repurpose. That's what it seems like. I mean, I know there's plenty of good talent that exists out there. So they're
Dude, I
clear.
tell people stories all the time that I just make up. I see
Yeah,
something, I go, and it gives me an idea for a story. And it's more original than like any of the drivel that you see on the screen anymore.
absolutely, absolutely.
They
And
tried making it sound like during the Golden Globes that Hollywood was back, and I
mhm.
was like, ugh.
Yeah, and anybody out there that's ready to be like, oh, well, it's probably just political. Like, not even political. Like, I can think
Dude,
of people that
I've been
I don't agree
kicked up.
with politically at all, but would be much better writers than what's been going on in Hollywood. I mean, it's
It's
doesn't have
just
to do with
boring.
politics at
It's just
all.
like
It is boring.
it's like everybody has to like just follow their code of conduct, and it's like that's not how creativity works, assholes.
Yeah, you know what? That kind of just reminds me of what I was going to get into later, and we can actually just get right into it. I
But
wanted to talk about Green Day and the whole Cat Williams thing. So, first of all, Green Day, I feel like they are like, I don't know, they're participating in this HR department that now exists in all media, and it's quite annoying to see what could have been or used to have been like a prominent punk band, which I never really even consider them punk. They're always like some pop punk, but they were always like very rebellious. And now to see them basically act
dude, during
as
the early
as
90s, they
the
were.
HR department for or trying to be. I mean, I bet he kind of wishes he could even get that much recognition. But then we
I
got
think Green Day is a great example of what the Doors would be like if Jim Morrison hadn't died.
yeah, yeah, I could see
They
that.
would have just kind of sprung up again every now
Yeah.
and then he would say something like charging, and people would be like, "Oh," they'd be in the news for a bit, and they'd get a few more album sales, even though
Yeah,
they
you mean
haven't
like
written a song that's interesting in
yeah, like the
15,
current
20 years.
Rolling Stones, pretty much same thing. Kind of just rolling
Yeah,
it
I
back.
mean, like to me, the Rolling Stones for the last 30 years have just gotten bored and wanted to go and make music. And like it's to me it's weird because I know it's probably contractual and they're making tons of money, but it also seems like they're just kind of doing it because it's fun. Because like fuck it, this is what we do. This is what we like to do. Even though it's not impressive. Like I mean, you know, the Apple recommend, oh hey, they released this, and I listen to it. I'm like, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
like I'm sorry. I feel like if the Rolling Stones really want to get any of their songs that they've written, like the 100 songs they've written this century, any noteworthy, they need to just get Scorsese to put it in another film. Like, I mean, that's I don't know.
yeah. That
That's the
seemed
way all of that stuff works. If you don't put it with something else, nobody cares.
well. Maybe that has something to do with why everything sucks now. Like everybody's just kind of associated and like, kind of contractually put into these jobs that are really not qualified to be in there. Just a bunch of people just milking the cow for what it's worth for so long. Eventually, it kind of dried up, and now the content itself is just completely milked dry. 100%. And so, yeah, and then it's this endorsement deal, that deal to put my song in a movie and all this stuff, and it's all mainstream garbage because it's all just going in the same circles. It's not bringing anything new, anything interesting, new ideas, nothing
It
new to
is
the table.
because it is weird.
Yeah, which
Um,
yeah, like what do you think about the
I
the
mean,
Cat Williams
this is
thing?
this is where I think some people will believe that we're stuck in like a matrix because it's like just run out of memory or whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of glitching right now. We're seeing it
Well, like,
firsthand. The the Matrix glitching and trying to make corrections.
man, dude, I have been. This is so off topic, but it's like super relevant, right? At least to where I am.
Yeah.
Um, what the fuck is going on with our federal government and like trying like we put a bunch of National Guard troops at the border, and Florida just sent us a bunch of theirs too, and the federal government's like, why are you guys stopping people from crossing?
Ooh, yeah,
And it's like
yeah,
what is going on?
man.
It is so bizarre. I'm just like, I'm like, you wait, what? And to me, okay, we've talked about this before. I think we should let all of these people in, but through proper documentation and all shit. I don't care how fucking long it takes. It's just like it's ridiculous that it's free wild. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people just flowing in. I mean, it's 500 or 600 miles away from where I am, but still, it's like shit.
It's super wild. Um, I mean, I'm only hearing about it from an outside perspective, but I've seen footage of people, immigrants or whatnot, just people from all over the world getting flown all over the country right now. And Tim Pool reported on it, and I think what was her name? Ashley St. Clair. I think it's Ashley. I don't. I've
Oh yeah, dude,
maybe.
that's been going on for
Yeah,
like a year.
yeah,
We've all the ones that are getting processed, right,
yeah,
are getting shipped to all of the sanctuary cities, all
yeah.
those self-proclaimed sanctuary cities. And it's really funny because like they like I love seeing the before and after where they're grandstanding about their whatever, we're doing this, we're open, we're better than all of those racists in the South. And then we start going, okay, well, thanks for the help. We're going to start sending them to you. And they're just like, the city is destroyed. We can't do this. We're kicking out our own homeless people. And then, like, over in California, they said they're giving them an
uh,
average of like $7,000 a month.
it's
Like,
that's ridiculous.
Like
Seven that
I don't know
it's
what's
supposed to
true, what
be
it's
it's supposed to be, I think it's $7,000 per person per month. Yeah. And I thought that was New York. I guess it's California. Maybe it's both of them. It doesn't really
probably
matter.
both.
Yeah, it's probably both of them. But yeah, so I think it was but yeah, it was reported that these people were just being shipped all over the country with boarding passes that said no name given. I mean, just can you imagine
Yeah,
that? Just no name given.
yeah,
They
dude, that
they
happened to like okay,
Okay, so hold on, hold on,
you've
hold on.
got you've got no, I was gonna say
Okay,
like
yeah, just say.
like I joke because I've never met another Patridge before. That's my mother's maiden name, right? And I'm fairly certain that he got off the boat, you know, 150, 160 years ago, whenever it was, and they just, they gave him a name
Yeah.
and
Yeah, that
sent
makes
him on his
sense.
merry fucking way.
So what
And
I
then like his son to like, then they basically just send him to a war. They're like, thanks, sir. You're now an American. If you'd like to, you can make some more money by going over here and signing up for the U.S. military. And like, and that's exactly what we're doing with these people too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, I was just thinking about how lazy have the government workers gotten to this point where they're just like not even writing their names anymore. They're just like can you just imagine some guy coming in and they're like, "Hey, what's your name?" And the guy's like, "The name's Jose." And they're like, Jose, oh, you know what? Screw it. Just no name given." And they're like, "Gay?" And like, "No name given." And they're like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, just keep
Actually, the
going,
majority of
keep
the people
going,
down
keep
at the
going."
border are majority of the people that work for border security are Hispanic.
Yeah, they are. Actually, you're right. Most of the migrants that I've been seeing aren't even, they're not even from South America or Central America. They're Chinese and East
Well, that's the
African
stuff
and
that
North
that's the other
African.
stuff that's making the news.
Yeah,
Like they're talking about they catch a couple of these people that are like I've seen the whole groups of Chinese people and some of the African people, and you're like, okay. But I mean, I
yeah,
I I I've man, if we could quit making this country stupider, it would be fine. Let these people come in, even if they had ill intentions, they'd probably start to change. A good majority of them,
yeah,
because most of the people that founded this country had ill intentions coming over here or escaping something.
that's true. That's true.
That's why I'm fine with it to some extent, but like I know there's a lot of broken disease people. I mean, did you see the jelly roll on congressional hearing?
The jelly roll? What do you mean? What was
You
that?
know you know that dude, you know that artist Jelly Roll?
No. Fill me in.
Uh I'm not too familiar with him either. He just looks kind of like a fat Post Malone.
Got it. Okay.
And like
Fat Post
he
Malone.
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
Post Malone was
And
like kind of like I'm not gonna call him fat, but
no,
like there's
no,
like a
no.
fat Post Malone.
He's from
That's
like Dallas or something. He's
yeah.
just got that big white boy.
Yeah.
um
Post Malone like
no,
really
he
came around and he's like super fit now. But yeah, the other
um
dude. So it's basically like Post Malone 2001 or something. So it's like older Post. Sorry. So
just look him up.
he's going in.
You'll
Okay,
see
fine. I'll look him up.
anyways,
He's going into
it,
Congress. You said.
so he had a congressional hearing. It's that I've been talking about this for a couple of years now, and I feel like people think I'm a cokehead. I have no desire to like even whatever. That's not my. I think that there is a much bigger epidemic of fentanyl being in people's coke, and that's why you're seeing so many young people die. And
Yeah,
he
for
was saying
sure.
100 and like 160, 180 people die a day of fentanyl exposure.
That's
And
100%
I was
happening.
and I was
That's
like,
totally
I was
happening.
like, I was like, that's not cool. So because it sounds to me, it I don't know because I don't see anybody doing any open investigations on it, but it seems like maybe you're just allergic to it, and it's like maybe 1 in 4 people just fucking drop dead, and like it's pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
And so he was doing this saying, why aren't y'all doing anything about this? Y'all are letting the borders open, and it's bringing in more and more of this shit. And it's like, I mean, it's weird too because if you go into it, you can start seeing how pharmaceutical companies open up and like they're all over Puerto Rico because they get some of the benefits of America, but then they escape a lot of the laws of America as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And they
absolutely.
and like I think they just branch out into all these other South American countries where they can do whatever they want. And then, yeah. I mean, what like that's the other thing too. Like, is what's happening in Hawaii where all the billionaires are taking up everything? Is that kind of happening in like Venezuela as well? Right? Is that happening in South America? I mean, like, are these drug lords just building these massive compounds and stuff? I mean, I don't know. There just seems to be like millions of people leaving these countries, and I'm like, how many people are in these countries? Like, is there anybody left? I mean, I hear the same thing about New York City too. There's like there's nobody left in New York City, but then I see these videos of 10 people living in a one-bedroom apartment, and they're all like, "Oh, we're all college students, we're all working, living here."
That's just how
I
it
mean,
is now. Yeah.
it's
No,
like
no
it's
one's
a
no one's
complete
gone.
breakdown of
When
the
people
middle class.
leave, they think that the city just was abandoned, and that's just their copium. That's their cope that they abandoned the city that they loved and left it to reckon. And so there's just, in New York, I'm sure New York is just completely trashed. I mean, um, I have a family member that lives in New York, and I've tried to tell them for the past couple of years, like, hey, you should probably like move out. Like, they used to live in Florida, but now they hate Florida, and I think it's purely political. I don't think it's actually anything
Really?
because they used to love Florida. They lived in Florida like
Can't wait for
half
the
their
next
life.
GTA 6.
Yeah, right. I was,
Like, I'm so excited
you know
about
what?
that.
So
Dude,
I'm gonna you know what? So it's funny that you mentioned the GTA 6. So I don't know the article, but I think it was Polygon or whatnot was like some games journalist or whatnot was kind of complaining that the game wasn't like woke enough for them, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't even get to the meat of it. Someone else already made a video on it. Doesn't really matter. But the thing I was thinking about
yeah,
was
no.
the protagonist already looks kind of like a trans. Like there
No,
was one of the
no,
yeah,
no,
one of the
no,
so I'm going to show you
no,
a picture of one of the
no.
still
I know what you're
shots.
saying. I
Yeah,
know
hold
what you're
on.
saying, but I think
I so
I think it's a weird thing
It's
about Hispanic
subtle.
women
I
that
think
they sometimes
no, 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 no,
like
no, 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 no,
the
no, no,
muscular ones can
no,
sometimes look masculine, and
no,
the
no, no, no,
dainty
my
man
friend.
ones can look.
No, so there's this. There's. Do you remember what was that trans person that they used for the Doctor Who? Like, look up a picture of that person real
Yeah,
quick.
okay, because because she was very
She
very feminine.
literally give
Like
them a
I
jawline that
didn't
looks exactly like
like
that. Like I'll put them
I
side by
didn't
side.
look.
I'm gonna put it up in post. I'll put up a picture of both of them, but yeah, look it up right now. Here, I'll just
See, I
GTA
just heard
6
that
GTA
the only thing is going
protagonists.
on is that she is a criminal and he was like a undercover cop or something that fell for her.
Do you
And that
know
that's
the
what that's what I
oh
don't I dude
I don't care about
I would be
the
so surprised
dude,
if they
I don't care
made
about
the
the
lead character a
storyline.
trans.
I don't care about the storyline. What I'm referring to is just the skin they put on this person that they're calling, some hot female, but I'm not going to call her that's not hot. So hold
So
on. What's
funny.
that chick from the Doctor Who or she's not even a chick.
No,
The
dude, that's
the
pretty
Doctor
scary
Who.
because
Look,
it was like the last
Doctor
few years
Who
every guy was worried about. I know who you're
yeah,
talking
trans
about. I know who
character.
you're talking about.
I'm gonna put them side by
Because
side. You gotta put
I didn't
them.
realize that I
Look,
didn't watch the new Doctor Who.
look,
I just
dude.
watched
I'm
a
I'm just gonna. Okay, here I'm gonna put this on the Discord and you'll see. And you just put them side by
oh shit.
side, and it's pretty spot on right there. I'll put the side by side and post there, and so the audience can see that. But but you'll see what I'm talking about, man. And it's just kind of lame. It's
Nah,
like they
she's got the
didn't
rounder jawline. That
they
the
didn't.
Doctor Who person
Yeah, but
has
you know
like a
what,
pretty
man? Like
masculine
what
jaw.
about the girl from Fable? That Fable like it's this kind of trend right now where they're going for this like ugly protagonist like
Dude,
represent
that was one of the comments that Cat Williams went off on,
yeah like this
where he was like,
freaking
why are we emitting these ugly people
yeah
are
like
attractive?
exactly.
Since
Actually, that
when?
brings it
Since
back to Cat
when?
Williams. Yeah, here I'll put another. I'm gonna just post that on the just the it's just kind of dumb.
Who
Like
is this?
that was the Fable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like and that was just from an article just here. In fact, I'll just link the article because why not? And we'll just put that up. Any of these stuff remind me to kind of clip some of this stuff in post. I specifically put us at the bottom of the page so we can just kind of like throw stuff up there, whatever we're talking about. Yeah, let's get back to Cat Williams. Like there was a lot of really good ones in there. So he mentioned the cabal, this cabal of actors and whatnot, and that kind of made me think about Jack Black and this article that came up on
Hmm.
Polygon where they were just basically praising him for being such a prominent voice actor in all of these gaming related movies.
Did you
So
ever?
they gave the tagline Jack Black becoming too powerful will star as Steve in Minecraft movie. Like who cares? Who freaking cares? But
There
secretly
was this.
like yeah, no, you go
uh,
for it.
Okay, there was this. Okay, there's this stupid skit from SNL when Garth Brooks hosted, and it was supposed to be him. Garth Brooks is like um a young man trying to write songs, right? And he's just like, I would give anything if I could just figure out like a great song. And like the devil appears and it's Will Ferrell. And like he
Okay.
he the joke is that the devil's songs suck.
Got it.
No, he doesn't really know how to play the guitar. It's really funny. Anyways, that's what I think happened to Jack Black. He made a Faustian deal and he got like 6 songs out of it. And that was it. And so he wrote those 6 songs for like
Yeah.
15 years through like the
Yeah.
mid 90s, early 2000s. And then somehow like was able to like he was like, hey guys, I'm one of y'all, look at me, I don't have a soul. Um and they're like, oh, okay, you can be a movie star now.
Oh my god. I mean, I believe
Yeah,
that.
I'm pretty sure
That's
that's how it
totally
happened.
believable. That's exactly how it happened. I mean, dude, he's okay as a comedian. I rewatched his HBO Tenacious D a while back, and it just wasn't as funny as it was when I was a teenager. I mean, I guess maybe you have to be a
Dude,
teenager to find that
when I
shit
saw it when I
funny.
was like 15, I thought that stuff was funny.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
then when
Like
my friend of mine bought the album like 6 years later in early 2000s,
and
I
it
was
was
like,
the
I already know
same.
this.
Yeah, I know
It
all
was the
these
same
songs. Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was good though. They had like I was rooting for him back then because he was
Yeah.
finally getting some stardom, and I was okay with it being all the stuff from the show because it literally should be his first album, right? And he did it full fledged with like high production music video that was actually pretty banging. And then that was it. It kind of like fizzled out.
Yeah.
They did an album afterwards that had a couple funny moments,
Ooh,
but
they
like
did that thing with the guy from the Ren and Stimpy just before they found out he was a terrible like creep.
I mean, I don't know. I can't believe that they're not terrible creeps because like he basically disowned KG, the other guy. What was his name? Chris Gore
Yeah,
or
Kyle
whatever.
Gass.
Kyle Gass. That's what it
Kyle
was.
Gass.
Kyle
Yeah.
Gass. KG. Um, Yeah, he
Yeah,
basically disowned him. Like, and that probably goes a little deeper than we're probably than what's on the surface there. Um, and Jack Black's
Well,
into
no, I
some
mean, because
weird
he's a
shit.
fat bald
Yeah.
guy. They're just not gonna like.
No, he had a drug
I mean,
problem.
it's
He had a serious drug problem. But then
Hog
again,
Aston.
yeah, yeah, that's why they had
Oh,
they had a huge falling out because he had a really bad drug
that
problem.
was the same thing. That was the same excuse that uh Kevin Hart was given about Cat Williams.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how
Yeah,
real is
yeah.
that when you've
So
got a
okay.
cabal
So when
member?
you're act,
Yeah,
which well,
yeah,
think about
exactly.
the hypocrisy of it
Yeah.
in Hollywood to be like, oh, they had a drug problem. That's why I left them. That's why I had to leave them. And
Yeah.
then it's like, yeah.
Meanwhile, they're doing
I
lines
mean,
of coke with hookers behind stage and maybe even doing some creepy stuff with the Epstein fella. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
I
Uh,
saw a funny meme. I've been seeing a bunch of really good memes about Christopher. Well, not Christopher. What's his name? Stephen Hawking's
yeah.
being being there. Like, like as soon as he gets off the plane, he's able to like jump out of the wheelchair, or um, they showed like a picture of the island and him landing on it, and it was like Mario Kart.
Yeah.
It's stupid, stupid shit.
Yeah, it is. Do you want to move on or do you want to
Yeah.
add anything else
Well,
to
no, I've been playing
the cabal?
RoboCop. No, I've been playing RoboCop, and that's been a
Okay.
lot of fun.
On
It
what? On
looks
on
just like
PlayStation?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and like
Okay.
it looks just like the movie, like the original ones, right? It's even voiced by the same dude and everything. Peter Weller, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess.
Anyways,
Okay. Yeah,
it's
tell me about it.
fun.
It's
Like, I mean,
I liked the
like I'm
movie.
actually
The
getting
movie
my
was
ass
awesome.
kicked. Well, when I was a kid, the part I hated the most is when you had to fight the big robot, right?
Hmm.
And because the robot just kicks his ass the first time, and like I'm at a part in the game where they like you're fighting a big gang and you're in this like warehouse area, quarry, and they send in one of those robots with you, and then all of a sudden it goes crazy and like shoots a couple of cops and you have to fight it, and it's just kicking my ass. But it's fun. It's ridiculous. I mean, you're RoboCop. You don't move too fast, but
That
you can take a
sounds
lot of
right.
damage and just
That sounds right. That sounds about right. Yeah, you just don't move
yeah,
very fast.
yeah.
That's
It's a lot of fun though. I've been because like I don't know. I've been wanting to play something other than Cyberpunk, which is like
yeah.
the only game I really ever want to play. And I was like, RoboCop. That's kind of like Cyberpunk, but like in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like that's a good transition. I can't.
Absolutely.
I still haven't done gone back to Baldur's Gate. Like I keep wanting to, but I don't know. I feel like I need to just start it over.
Yeah, I need to
Um,
start it over too. I've been wanting to play it. It's just so I got about halfway through the game, and then there was a certain update that came out that kind of broke my game a little bit, and then so I had to back up, and I went back to a previous save and I played it for a little bit, and then I kind of left it, and then I found a group to play it with, and so
yeah,
I was
you said
playing.
you found a group to
Yeah,
play.
so I was playing it with a group for a while, and that was really fun. But the kind of the storyline that I wanted to take was this update that was kind of coming later, and I heard that like a bunch of dialogue was missing from like certain key characters in the storyline, and I was doing specifically the Dark Urge story on that playthrough with all that group of friends and stuff. And Dark Urge, I guess, was still kind of beta. So I felt like I was only getting half of the experience. And so it was all great for the first act. The first act is super fleshed out. They've got it like pretty freaking fleshed out. But Act Two, there's just certain things that didn't interact well with what you did in Act One, and I was playing with the group playing Dark Urge, which is basically the evil route for anybody listening that doesn't know about Baldur's Gate. You're basically taking the evil route, which I'm not very used to doing that. But the game explicitly had this game mode where you can just take the evil route, and I just thought it would be funny to get some
Not
interactions in there. And so, yeah.
go ahead.
So, but I did it, and it had all these kind of build up in Act One that kind of didn't really lead to anything in Act Two, and Act Two just kind of seemed the same as if you did good or evil. It didn't really freaking matter. Like all these impactful decisions that you made in Act One, and like people's lives were ruined. And actually, no matter what route you take, like good or evil, you end up doing some pretty freaking evil shit. And even in the evil route, you end up doing some good stuff. So I don't think that they did a good enough job kind of fleshing out what good and evil could even potentially be. It's this kind of
That's the
homogenous
reason I
version
didn't want
of
to play.
lack of morality. Like it's not even, like evil's not treated like evil in the game. Evil's treated like it's just a slight lack of morality or
See, that's
slightly,
why I didn't want to play Hogwarts
Hogwarts.
because
Oh,
like
yeah.
like
I heard
I
Hogwarts is like full of war crimes, like or Geneva
well, that's what
Geneva
I'm saying.
Convention,
Yeah,
like it's just killing students and shit. Like that sounds crazy.
like
Why would anybody put a
I
game
just
out like
I
that?
know, and like it's so like crazy and stuff. I had a couple of friends trying to get me. They're like, "Dude, it's on sale. It's like $30." And I'm like, "No, I don't want it. Like, I think I want RoboCop."
Yeah,
like,
RoboCop,
like, how many times do
RoboCop
I have
all
to tell
day.
my friends
I'm probably
I
gonna get
like
it after this.
sci-fi? I don't like fantasy. Like your magic and your stuff like that is silly. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I still want to get Armored Core. I have that on my list of games to get, and I haven't gotten it yet.
you're just
I, I,
wait.
I
It'll
really
probably drop to like nothing. I don't think hardly anybody played it.
Well, it was super popular in Japan. Like it fucking
Yeah,
yeah.
but that's still like that's
Yeah.
still only.
No, you're
I mean,
not
I'm
you're
pretty
not
sure.
wrong. You're not wrong.
Um,
I'm waiting. That's why I haven't bought it yet. I want to play it. My original plan was I was going to buy it day 1 and I was going to start streaming that day. I was like, "Oh, I'm going to start streaming and it's going to be an Armored Core stream and I'm just going to pretty much dedicate to just doing Armored Core until I beat the game." Just completely go through nonstop, no other games, no
it kind
breaks.
of sounds gay.
Well, I
Like,
mean, I really
no, I
thought
mean like the whole armored core. Like, just I'm gonna sit there. I'm just gonna armor core all day for
not all
streaming all
day,
day.
not all day, but what I mean is like my
I'll do it
my
on my
uh
stream all
my
day.
my channel would be dedicated to Armored Core pretty much until I beat the game, which would be
Yeah,
how I
no,
would
I
do it
get it.
anyway, right? Like if I
I was
played
gonna say
a
when you're
Dark
talking.
Souls game, I would play it to completion. I'm still kicking myself in the butt that I still haven't finished Bloodborne. Like I always kind of play the beginning of the
My
game, make
sister-in-law
it
just
about
beat it.
halfway, and then I lose interest somehow, or something else comes up, and like the person I'm playing with is kind of like falls off, something like that.
My sister-in-law's been playing it for 4 years, I think now, and
Bloodborne?
she just told me like, yeah, it's like her favorite game, and she was like, I finally beat it,
Are you
and I was like,
serious? Oh my god.
yeah.
Why didn't you tell me? I would have
Um,
I would have been playing with them this whole time. I'm always looking for someone
uh,
to play Bloodborne with, but like there's
well,
never
shit.
nobody.
I'd even think of that. I'll send her a text about it.
Yeah.
No,
And
what I was gonna
and
say
you
when you were
should
talking
get on
about playing as
Bloodborne.
an evil character,
Yeah, yeah, tell
I
me about it.
yeah. When have you ever played the Infamous games?
No, no, but I know what they are. Yeah, talk about it. Yeah,
The,
go for it.
all three of them are great, but
Yeah.
there's one of the things, the reason it's called Infamous is that you can basically, right at the beginning when you get your powers, you'll come into a decision, and it's like, one of the games, it's like there's a food drop and the people can't get to it, and you can either like take the food for yourself and just say, I'll give it to my friends," or you can drop it and give it to all the people, right? And that's like your first kind of little moral decision.
Hmm.
Well, in the later ones, you had this. If you started going more infamous, you'd have different powers than if you were just the superhero. Uh,
Interesting.
And so I played all three of them. And the last one, you could um I was like, I beat it, and it was like, after you beat it, it's like, hey, if you want to, we can rewind it to this point, and you can try it the other way. And I was like, oh, that's cool, I'll do that. And so I, you have a meter, and you have to you have to do bad things to get it to go on the bad side, but you have to diminish the good side first. And the only way to do it, because I've done everything in the game pretty much, was I had to drain people of their lives. And you would literally like jump on a person, put your hands on their like face, and just suck the life out of them.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, and I'm just doing this to every NPC walking by, and it's just barely taking away any of like the blue side. And I never got to the red side. I was like, I murdered like 100 people in this video game doing this thing, and I was just like, I'm kind of sick. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done.
Yeah, I could see that kind of taking a little bit out of you. That's why I was never really a fan of Grand Theft Auto. I mean, I really enjoyed GTA 3 when I was younger, when I was a teenager. Um, Basically back when, that would be interesting. But when I got older, it just didn't really seem that interesting. After the fifth or sixth car chase from, the cops and stuff like that, it gets pretty boring. The storyline was great. Like if you were playing
Dude.
the story and doing the missions and all that, but once you're done with it, like
Oh,
and
oh,
you're just you load into the game and you're just sandboxing it. Like I don't get how some people just sandbox into a game like that and they just go around punching pedestrians and think that that's fun. Like I don't see the
yeah.
fun in
Well, I
it.
mean, that's one of the reasons I quit playing like Call of Duty and stuff, was because you'd play for a few minutes, and then you'd run into, I mean, worst case, they're on your team, and all they're trying to do is get some achievement for like punching 20 people to death in a match.
Yeah.
And you're just like, well, that's like that. You're not helping.
Yeah,
You're just running around.
that stuff is
Or
dumb.
you get the child. Yeah, it's just yeah. Um, let's see, ooh, that smells good.
Do you want to move on to
Go
the
for it.
next topic? Okay. So this one actually was one we were talking about the other day. The I just headlined it, Middle Easterners taking babies.
Oh, oh. I
And you were
couldn't
telling
find
me
anything
about
about it. Like I
the,
looked about it. Just there was a lady from our church that had the same thing happen, and then my cousin, and then I've read other stories about like just what is it like 24 hours, those kind of mystery news
yeah, like
magazines that you
yeah,
can get
like
on TV.
you need a like a TLC account, I guess, at this point or something, so you
Yeah,
can
right.
so you can find these old shows. That's just funny. Well,
Yeah,
I guess
no.
what the premise explain what the premise is though. Like if you
Well,
were
just
making a movie about it and it was a comedy, what's the premise of this scam?
it was
Of
a
yeah,
comedy.
of the scam. Yeah. Yeah, like if if you put this together like it's a comedy movie, not even a comedy movie, just a premise to a
Yeah.
movie, how does this scam work?
Man, I don't like you find your most attractive Middle Eastern men, and you
Mhm.
send them to America to, swindle, basically do Taken. That's basically what it is.
Do
But
Taken.
instead they're taking babies.
They're taking babies.
And
Okay.
it doesn't
So
doesn't
the so
doesn't doesn't really translate to comedy.
okay, so they're
Like, now, now if
so
you want
no, but like
to
walk me through it though. Walk me through it. So dude comes here and then I guess like acts like he falls in love with some chick and they fall in love and they have a kid, right? Am I getting
yeah,
that?
yeah.
And then he through some sort of like legal dispute will try to take the kid back to his home country.
Yeah,
That's the overall. Okay,
yeah.
so I
And I
think.
think it's happened. I think it happens like in other countries too. I've heard this
Oh, for
in
sure.
other
Oh,
places
for
too.
sure. I mean, shit. It happens between Detroit and Baltimore. Like that might as well be another country. You know what I mean?
Well, dude, that's what
So
I feel like
like,
every one of those Amber Alerts is. Like every Amber Alert is two parents fighting, and one of them says, "You, I'm taking the kid." The next thing you know, they're looking for a green Chevy.
that's so fucked up. It's like, yeah, I know exactly what that motherfucker drives. I just like I'm totally picturing that video, that freaking just just body cam footage. I can just picture it now. Yeah, I know exactly what that motherfucker drives. And like and they're like guy goes on the radio, got a APB on on a blue Chevy Tahoe.
Dude, have you ever seen this movie? Have you ever seen
Oh
this movie called
fuck.
Sleep Dealers?
Healers?
It's Sleep Dealers,
Bleep
as in like
dealers, hold on.
you're a dealer.
Yeah.
It's a
Ble-
Mexican movie. It's a sci-fi movie. Came out probably
dealers.
2003
Bleep
maybe.
dealers? I'm not finding it.
Sleep, sleep,
Oh,
sleep,
sleep. Got you. Sleep
and that's
dealers.
the English translation.
Oh, yeah. Let me see.
So like
Dude,
in the
I
future,
gotta
there's no
watch this.
TV. There's nobody.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody watches television, and the only one of the only shows that's like still broadcast is, in a sense, like body cam footage, but it's soldiers like taking out terrorists or drones more.
Man,
Yeah,
that's
and
pretty awesome.
it's one of those sci-fi movies. I'm surprised I've never seen anybody recommend before.
I'm gonna
It's
check it
not
out.
bad. Like
I'm gonna.
the acting's fine. The story's pretty way out there, and the special effects they're not. I don't know. They didn't look cheap, right? Like there's a lot of practical effects and stuff, and uh, yeah.
No, that's cool. I'm actually gonna watch it. I'm gonna find where I can watch it, and I'm gonna watch it, and then
Like I have all
next
these
week
friends getting into like
I'm gonna.
hardcore Korean violent movies, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't like, I watched The Raid and The Raid 2 and Old Boy and The Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance and Sympathy for Mrs. Vengeance. And I'm like, these are really violent. I mean, so many people get killed with hammers in those movies. And so I journeyed out to like Mexican and Latin American sci-fi, and I was finding a bunch of it. There's like, I don't know. I'm surprised how much I've found that I'm enjoying.
Yeah, just older movies. I've been dipping in a little bit too. There's still, one of my favorite movies is still a Ridley Scott, kind of just like a
The Last
offshoot.
Duel,
No, it was The Duelist. It's still like
the
I actually,
Duelist. Sorry, the
yeah,
Duelist. Yes.
I actually
Did you see The Last Duel?
No, you know what? Let me look
That's
that
a
up right
dude.
now too.
That's a super underrated movie. It
The
just came out a
Last
couple of
Duel.
years ago. It's Adam Driver, Ben Affleck, and Matt Damon. I
Oh, Adam
I
Driver.
really
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this movie.
This one's pretty
Yeah, this
recent.
is
Yeah, I'll watch
yeah.
this.
It totally did not. And man,
This one will
like
probably be easier to find than the Sleep Dealer. But next week when I come back, I'll talk about Sleep Dealer. I'll watch it. I'll do a quick little review. I'll tell you what I think about it. Because yeah, if you recommend it, then I'm gonna totally watch it.
we
At the
just
very least, even if it's just something to make fun of, yeah, fuck yeah, whatever it is. You say it's
we
pretty
just
cool.
watched The Creator.
The Creator,
That's a
that's
new
another
one.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but hold on.
David.
You gotta one at a time, man. One at a time. Give me some time to watch a couple of
This is
these.
you got
Slow it
no the
down.
I didn't like The Creator.
Oh, was it
It
bad?
was
What was it?
eh,
Just tell me about it.
it's
I'm probably not
it's the
gonna
guy
watch it if
from
it's shit.
did you see do you know who John David Washington? He's Denzel Washington's son. He's been
Okay,
showing
so
up in a few
so he's
things lately.
discount Washington. We got
He it's so funny because he's not a bad looking guy, but he's not as attractive as Denzel Washington
so
was
totally
in this.
discount
Plus,
Washington.
he's also probably like 5'7", 5'8".
I gotta put up his picture. Remind me to
Um,
get his picture. I'll put him up on there. But
but like
that's
and it's not a bad movie. It's just boring. It's basically people we're starting to do AIs and people are starting to build full blown like human looking robots that are AIs. They're not
yeah,
people, right?
yeah.
And and then a bomb goes off, and so it's like we're gonna kill all the AIs. Well, the AIs run away,
Well, I would think
and like
the whole actor's son trope kind of became obsolete the moment we made AI, right? Because or the procedural creating of like faces and all that crap. Like, what's the point? I mean, that kind of
oh,
that's kind of dead. Like, and I don't see any reason.
dude,
Then you
it's so
should get in some new
disgusting. It's so
actors.
disgusting how everybody in Hollywood they're all related.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, they all they are.
it's the ones that like come out and do something on their own for a little while and do some indies that I'll give some credence to, right? But
Yeah.
like you're like seriously, like you're all just you got this part because like we started watching uh like it's just flipping channels or whatever on YouTube. Um The Rocker with Rainn Wilson
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
Dwight from The Office.
Yeah. I saw
It
that.
came out like
It
in
was okay.
2006. Yeah, yeah. So
It was
he like
okay.
it's like they're in this awesome 80s band
It was like his
and
deadbeat uncle or something,
no,
and
the manager comes in. The manager comes into the band at the beginning and tells them, "Hey, I've got a good contract for you. You guys are all going to be rich. There's one catch. One of the producers wants his son to be y'all's drummer, so you got to get rid of your drummer."
uh,
And they just they don't have it. They're just like, "Oh, okay, they didn't. They were like, maybe if y'all say no, maybe lightning will strike twice. Who knows, right?"
yeah. And then
Mm.
oh yeah, and then he gets his son and to bring
They
his
become a
band.
famous band.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then yeah,
I remember.
I guess he's living with his like he starts living with his sister or something.
Yeah, I remember it
It's
being
not a
okay.
bad movie.
I
It's a
haven't seen
wholesome
it. I
family
remember yeah,
movie.
I remember it being okay. I don't remember it. It's been a long time. I saw it back when it came out. Like
Came
I
out, yeah.
remember seeing it when it was
Dude, did
like,
you ever
a
see The
relevant new
Super with
movie at the
him?
time. What?
Did you ever see The Super with Rainn Wilson? It came out like
Nope.
2 years after that.
No, I didn't.
It's a James Gunn movie.
James
Like
Gunn.
James Gunn, like Guardians of the Galaxy, Suicide Squad,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Belko experiment.
Yes, yes.
The Belko experiment where like all these people go into work one day they're like in Colombia and there's nobody in the building because they told all the staff that's local to go home, and then they get on an announcement and says there's 80 of you in the building. By the end of the day, there can only be one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I
Anyways,
haven't seen that one.
the super is Rainn Wilson, and I can't remember who his girlfriend is in this. Um, anyways, um she starts doing she's I guess she gets swayed by an evil Kevin Bacon, right? And he's like some drug dealer pimp kind of guy, and he loses her to him, and he becomes distraught, and he's praying, and like he thinks that God tells him that he needs to become like a superhero. So he I think he calls himself the wrench because he just clocks people in the head with a monkey wrench. And it's a dude, you gotta watch this movie. Like it's like that girl that's now a guy rapes him in it. It's really weird. What's her name? Uh Elliot Page.
Elliot, yeah, Elliot Page.
Yeah,
Ellen Page,
yeah.
Elliot Page.
It, wa-
It's
she was
weird
Ellen Page
because
at the time. Yeah.
so yeah, at the time she was Ellen
Because
Page.
like
So I think it's
they're doing
appropriate
another
to say
Umbrella.
Ellen Page when you're. I don't know. I don't even fucking care. It's Ellen Page or
That's
Elliot
weird.
Page. It's like whatever
That's
you feel like
weird.
saying at the moment. Because
Well,
they
like they were
they
talking
exist
about
as two
how
people now. I guess. Like you don't when you're talking about um what's her name or what's their fucking name or whatever, Bruce Jenner, and then turned into what
I,
was what
or
is it
Caitlyn.
Caitlyn? Yeah, it's like two different people, like completely. It's so weird to even like have that as a concept. Uh, you know, it's
Well,
just
like
so fucking weird.
there's a look up the comedian Shane Gillis finds out about the Wachowskis.
Yeah,
That's pretty funny.
yeah. Well, I was looking at this.
No, they're doing.
I was looking at
Okay.
this freaking dumb article, and we can like close it off with this. So we got this People article. Brittany Griner and I'm gonna say Sharelle's Griner's relationship timeline. People's like writing this whole freaking article about this girl's timeline of the relationship with her wife.
Yeah.
The just the WNBA player that we traded for some like war criminal
Yeah.
or
No.
something
No. I
like
know.
that. Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at I'm gonna
Well, actually, the statistics on lesbian relationships or homosexual relationships came out, and it turns out like most lesbian marriages end in divorce,
yeah,
and the
I'm gonna
reasons
link it
they
in here.
say are the same reasons that they leave men. And they were basically just saying that women are the problem in marriages.
Yeah. I mean, but can you like
Sorry,
hold on. Can you pull up this article though? Like seriously, read the first line of the article and try to do it with a straight face. Like it's just so dumb. Like and this is kind of goes back to just writing. Just read it out loud.
in
In
June of 2019, Brittany and Charnel have supported each other through thick and thin.
some bullshit, right?
She advocated for her wife when she was detained in Russia for 10 months on drug charges, but he was eventually released. I had thought about that moment 1,000 times, and I thought it would be full of tears. You thought it would be?
Tells People
But I
magazine.
was
Yeah, dude.
overwhelmingly happy. It was the first time I was able to finally exhale.
Are they just
Hmm.
like acting it out in their head like it's going to eventually be some sort of daytime movie thing on what's that channel that they did? Was it like I guess
Oh
they
man,
would just
you're
do like
absolutely
daytime
right. It's
movies
gonna be
like
a terrible movie about this.
Hallmark lesbian channel documentary movie where they
Bravo.
have some like
Yeah.
actors reenact her crying
Well, no,
over her lesbian girlfriend
I'll
being in
accept that. I just don't want a giant movie about it.
right.
You know,
Oh my
like I
god.
just
Well, that's what
okay.
it would be. It would be some CW quality stuff because that's what we see today. All like just but put
It
out in
still
a big
costs two
theater.
hundred million
Yeah,
dollars.
exactly. Still costs $200 million. Gonna pay all the lawyers. Gonna pay off everybody. Oh man, jeez, it's just too much. And then like you see these
And then
lower
they'll try to
budget
force it on
films.
the Chinese market, and it'll become a whole thing.
Oh my god. Okay, so we're pretty much almost at time. Do you have anything you want to close in? Any closing thoughts?
Uh, oh yeah, no, I just don't find basketball women attractive. They
Yeah,
just,
I agree.
they just
I
they just
agree.
seem like they'd be hot all the time and like constantly having to put lotion on after.
Yeah.
You just be like,
You know what's
you
funny?
put half a bottle of lotion every time you.
I hear that from black men too. Like black men don't like manly looking black women. Like it's just not a thing. And if you are into that, you're probably gay. Like that's just kind of
One thing, a weird thought.
like I'm just saying, just a
Maybe the
weird thought.
popular, maybe if you like. the more and more men control themselves and like become more, I don't know, better human beings and do less pillaging and raping and stuff, I think the populace gets more attractive.
Yeah, yeah, I think
Plus, I think
so.
if you got rid of alcohol, if you got rid of alcohol, like if you just said nope, no more alcohol, and everybody was like, you know what, you're right, and like
Hmm.
you did have like this ending of it, like lead, like
Yeah,
everybody agreed,
yeah,
like oh maybe we shouldn't have lead in everything, but alcohol, everybody's like oh no whatever. But if you had that agreement, right, yeah, you would have a the birth rate would decline, but the populace would be smarter, healthier, and better looking.
yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking about that before college, after college meme.
Before and
Oh,
after
crap,
cocaine,
you.
alcohol.
Oh, you son of a
What do
bitch.
you mean?
No,
What
I
do you
hate that
mean?
I just clicked on something and just played a stupid ad on me. But
Oh,
I'll post it. I'll put it up in post and you can see it. Um, but yeah, that I completely agree. Like society just looks uglier now, and I think it's on purpose though. I don't think we've actually become the fully androgynous thing. I think we're getting closer to that goal, that end goal, that the
androgynous?
androgynous meaning
No, no, I know what you
could
mean.
leak like
You think
either
we're all
sex.
gonna
That's the
like
goal
okay,
of the cabal.
okay,
Yeah,
no, no, no,
I
no, no,
would
no, no.
say
Okay.
is to
Yes,
make the
yes. They
women
all want to
very
look like
androgynous.
white
Yeah.
elf, or they all want to look like yeah, like the dark elves and white elves,
Yeah, yeah,
where
they
everybody just
want the
has that
women to
same
look like
complexion,
men
same.
and the men to look effeminate and to be the roles reversed, inverse, like they say on Fleckus, backwards and upside down, which is hence it's evil, then it's bad, it's
Yeah.
quite literally the inverse of what life as
What
we know
have
it. They're
you
trying to
seen?
gaslight us into thinking that everything should be ass backwards, but it
Well, like
really
it's like
shouldn't be.
the
And a lot of
pivot
people need
back.
to start speaking up and start, being vocal about the fact that everything's really ass backwards now.
Well, I think people are. I think comedians are.
Definitely.
And as long as we still have freedom of speech for the time being, I
Yeah,
mean that
for the
Vivek
time being.
Ramaswamy guy, he was talking about like I saw his speeches in Iowa the other day, and he
Yeah.
kept getting interrupted by these climate activist people calling him yeah, and he was like, "I'm not denying it. I'm telling you it's a hoax." And he's like, "I don't understand why you young people are wanting to give up your lives for this kind of stuff." When you're being you're being lied to, you're being manipulated by all these outside factors that you don't understand, and you don't take the time to listen to anybody that's trying to explain it to you.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
weird.
It is weird.
'Cause,
It
I mean,
is
like you
weird.
start looking at it and you start finding out that like there's all these outside countries that don't want America doing stuff, and so they're basically brainwashing all these kids into stuff, and you're just like, damn it. This is
Yeah.
why all the schools are starting to like everybody that can is homeschooling their kids because they don't want to have to be put in that meat grinder.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was just looking at if you had
I'm
anything else
copying I'm copying another image
on
to put on the Discord, and then I think that's pretty much it. We'll close it out at that. First podcast. There we go. Got it out of the way. Yeah,
the.
and the next episode is going to be even better because we've got some spicy topics, and I know that you're going to really want to talk about that. And then I'm going to have to watch Sleep.
Pepper.
I'm going to have to watch Sleep Dealer. So you're gonna have to hold me to it. I'll have to look and see where I can
Where
watch it.
is it
No,
on?
I'll find it. I'm sure I'll find it. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna stop the recording. Yep, first podcast, all done, all nerdy like that. Like just can't even close it.